Do you want to be OP? So strong that you could one-shot or two-shot most enemies around your level? Well, let me show you how. I discovered this build while farming for haze. Watch my 1 million haze per hour video if you'd like to see that, links in the description. However, I have further polished it and made this build much stronger. This is an amazing middle game build, and although two-handed weapon style is already OP to begin with, if you stack all the right things and tweak, the damage could be insane. This is one build you need to know if you're playing Code Vein. If you don't have access to everything I have equipped in the video, that's fine. Make do with what you can, and work towards unlocking the proper skills as you go. All of these gifts come from the middle of the game and earlier, so you should be able to use this setup fairly early on. The idea here is to boost your main weapon damage as high as you can with your codes, weapons, and veils. Just doing that will make you hit like a truck, but there is further tweaking to be done. First, check out the Atlas class that I'm using. It offers an S+ in strength, which is crazy high for heavy weapons, since all of the heavier weapons base their damage off of the strength stat. I'm using the Onigiri weapon now because it's slightly better than the weapon I was using before. You can get the Onigiri by trading with Yakumo. This weapon's attack patterns are a little different than the other weapons you've been using up until now. I prefer it over the other styles. The veil I'm using is the GXH Assault. I have yet to find out if there's another one that gives you a better bang for your buck for strength-based weapons. Let's move on to the gifts. For our passives, we got the standard boost like Strength plus Dex, Strength plus Vitality, Two-Handed Sword Mastery, and an interesting passive I like to run called Firm Stand. Firm Stand allows you to survive a fatal attack that would normally kill you, but instead you're left with 1 HP. Although it doesn't boost the damage of the build at all, you're always going to be close and center. You're going to be hit a lot. So this passive saves your life. Finally, our actives. I use the Tormenting Blast as my primary move, but what I use depends on my situation. I like to use Dragon Lunge if there's a bigger gap then my Tormenting Blast won't reach, and Triple Annihilator for my targets who are stunned, or I could land a close quarters combo on. I find that Triple Annihilator does the most damage out of all three, but it's hard to get positioned properly. I also run a bunch of buffs, and this is where you could really play around with your setup. I just started adding the buffs to my rotation, since I haven't really needed them with this build to be honest, but this stuff could bring you to a whole new level of damage. Adrenaline is great, it boosts your damage, that's it. Overdrive is good too, but if you take damage the effect completely wears off, so you use at your own risk. Then we got the status buffs like Numbing, Venom, Flame, Warding Mark, etc. These are all situational and you should use them based on your enemy's weaknesses. There will likely be some future tweaking for this build since I have yet to unlock all the classes, so this probably isn't the perfect setup for the two-handed weapon style builds yet. This video's purpose is to help you be OP during the mid-game or even give you something to work towards from the very start. Other than giving you a build that is far out of reach, I designed this build as something you need to know now. I will be releasing the perfected version of this build later on. I need to get the rest of the gifts to play around with the ideal setups, so make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that video. Having a hard time leveling up some of your higher priced haze gifts? Feel free to check out my playlist down below in the description where all my haze farming guides are. You got something from the very start of the game, a little further in, and a farm strategy that works hand in hand with this build I just showed you. We got a little something for everybody to help you play faster, longer, and better. After all, this is what my channel's all about. If you have any questions about the build, or if there are other specific build types you prefer, let me know in the comments and I'll craft some builds geared towards different playstyles. Enjoy your rampage in Code Vein.